What is up, everybody? It's your boy Kenma. Sorry I haven't been putting out any videos lately. I've been super busy moving and stuff. But I plan on putting out some more vids, like trying to be more frequent with them, you know what I'm saying? Like at least 2 videos a week and keep everyone updated on what I'm doing and stuff. So I thought for this video I would go over the PTR patch notes of that just came out with the monk, the new hero in them. I'm not gonna go over the monk as a hero, and I'm not gonna go over the new map. What I'm gonna go over is all the other changes, like talents changes and the hero changes, and say what I think about them. So, if you're looking for a monk video or the new map, a video about the new map, this is not the right place. But I'll probably cover them in another video, so just be on the lookout. Alrighty, let's go through talents. So Bolt of the Storm, we have pretty much they just up the cooldown at 30 seconds. I think this is a really good change in the right direction because 40 seconds is just ridiculous. Like for something of that power, it's too low of a cooldown. So this is a real good step in the right direction. I was hoping they did this a long time ago, so I like to see this. Cleanse. So instead of making like what were you able to do before on cleanse? Was you were able to pre-cleanse yourself? Like say if you were gonna get stunned by a Mirrodin stun, or you're gonna get stunned by a Stitch's hook, or if you're gonna get stunned by not a Stitch's hook, but get hooked by a Stitch's hook, or get stunned by a Tyrael, you could pre-cleanse yourself a second before it hits, and as long as you did it within the second timer, it would still cleanse that thing. And what this does now is it actually increases the skill cap, which is a great thing. Like it's just anything that increases skill cap is always a step in the right direction, in my opinion. So it takes away like pre-cleansing. It just does not exist anymore. So you do not have that unstoppable for 1 second. And what they did do was they added Relentless for 2 seconds, which is 50% CC, or if you're from League of Legends, 50% tenacity. I don't like that they did that. I want cleanse to just cleanse stuff. Like they made this is actually, I think this is exactly how the League of Legends cleanses now. So it is what it is. It's a lot better than it was. I still think that the Relentless shouldn't be there. Like because like you can still kind of like pre-cleanse yourself against like a Tyrael, and then it only hits for half duration. You know, I would like to see like more rewarding plays for people that have good cleanses, but this is still a step in the right direction, so I'm happy with it. Focus attacks. It pretty much is not a PvE tool anymore. So like people like Zeratul or anyone that was taking focus attacks and can just burn down mercs and burn down bosses and towers and buildings and stuff, it's not an option anymore. It only works on heroes. This is a great step because people like focus attacks should just not be doing that much damage to PvE stuff. So this is good. Another step in the right direction. Good job. Gathering power. They pretty much nerfed gathering power. Used to start at 5%, and then it would go up 1% at a time to 50. What would it go? Just reduced from 2 to 1%. Okay, so it is really, really nerfed. I don't think anyone's gonna take gathering power anymore after this. I really think that they nerfed it too. I don't know if they nerfed it too hard. I didn't like the talent to begin with because it's such a mandatory talent on almost everyone that has it. So like I'm glad that I would have rather they just took out the talent out of the game rather than just make it like they're trying to make it like a Medjai's or whatever. I don't really like it at all. But it's still good. It's still a good step in the right direction because I do not like talents that multiple heroes share that are mandatory. So still say that's a good step in the right direction. Imposing presence. They nerfed it to 40%. It used to be 50%. 40% is still really high. This is still a great talent at 16. Apparently when you attack something else, like you can attack any. Apparently, like they're not really precise on what they said in the second line. The attack speed slow will now be removed when attacking a target that has not learned the imposing presence talent. I'm guessing they mean anything in the game that's not that hero with imposing presence. So like it could be buildings, it could be minions, it could be another hero that doesn't have it. I'm not sure, but that's kind of strange. I don't really think that's good, but whatever. Mercenary Lord. Pretty much what they did was So Merklord used to be super OP. Then they nerfed it to a point where no one ever took it. And now superiority was taken like once in a blue moon by like Arthas. It wasn't really taken very often at all. But now they mixed it up and they added them together and made both of them one talent. I still don't think you're gonna see this very often, to tell you the truth. Like, Anubrak's not gonna get this over Beetles. Arthas, Arthas could get this. It is a possibility. No one plays Gazlo. Nazeebo has to get the spiders at 4. Sonya will not get this. Stitches won't get this. And Vikings, I doubt Vikings will get this, to tell you the truth. So that pretty much means, like, Arthas is pretty much the only one that doesn't lose, like, something great to get this. And besides maps like Mines or Battlefield of Eternity, I really still don't think he's going to take it very often. So you might see this once in a blue moon. Like, it's still going to be just as rare as it was before. I don't, the mercenaries only do damage and take less damage from mercs. So if they still got like the HP like they used to on the knights, then it'd be really good. But I don't think anyone's gonna take it. Season Marksman. Only it's not really changed at all. Like, if you used to take it, you're still gonna take it. So superiority, like we said earlier, it's in they bind it together with the Merklord talent. All right, on to heroes. Foul Steady. They changed Mighty Gus. They buffed Mighty Gus. No one is still gonna take this talent. It's horrendous. Jaina. Ring of Frost. Cooldown from 100 to 80 seconds. That's actually really huge. And what they did to Water Elemental was it does not deal damage anymore. So it used to do damage when you would summon it on the point of impact, and then it would chill instantly. And now the Water Elemental does not chill or do any damage. So, I'm pretty sure Water Elemental is going to still be the go-to. Like, I could be completely wrong, but I think it'll still be the go-to. But Ring of Frost now, like, having an 80-second cooldown is actually pretty huge because, like, if you think about it, like, that's a 20% buff, time buff. Like, 80 seconds is more in line with, like, more regular ults, so it'll be up more frequently for team fights and whatnot. Like, I could see it. It's still, like, really hard to land unless you have some kind of setup, though, so it's going to be really comp dependent, but I definitely think we could see it just because of the nerf to Water Elemental. Like, I would not be surprised to see it way more often than you see it now, which is never. So Kael'thas. Alright, so TLDR and Kael'thas, they took away his Ignite, they buffed some of his other stuff, nerfed some of his other stuff. He's gonna be ass now. You're never gonna see him in competitive play anymore, in my opinion. It doesn't matter that you nerfed all this other stuff. He is way too squishy for what he does now, that he does not have Ignite. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong, because, like, who knows, but I think he'll be useless in competitive play. Kerrigan. So, they took away Sprint and Blood for Blood, and they gave her, like, her own renditions of them. The Queen's Rush is similar to a Jinx, like, passive, where you gain move speed, except that it's only 25%. Like, 25% is really low amount of move speed. Like, I don't remember how much Sprint was, but it's a lot more than 25%. So, it's kind of a nerf, I guess. Let's see. Blood for Blood. So, steal 10% of the enemy's hero's health and gain twice as the shields. Is your talent. That could be good, like, if it's, like, you can stack with your Maelstrom shields, it could be really good. But I mean, I don't know. Like, Blood for Blood heals for what, 20%, right? So in this game, you usually, when you ever have the choice of getting a shield or a health, you would usually always prefer the health. So I think this is a nerf too. Like, let's read some of this stuff. They put the level 1 E trait, which gave the range, they put that inside her E's just standard now, which is pretty good. They buffed Maelstrom. They buffed Maelstrom, but it's not as long in team fights. But that's still a pretty good buff to Maelstrom. You know, we're gonna have to see. Like, Kerrigan's probably gonna be in. I would think she'll be in a similar spot. Like, honestly, like to where she is now. Like, just used by players that like Kerrigan. Like, she's not very good. All right, so Raynor got a lot of changes, right? They moved some stuff around, like it's cool that they put Relentless Leader, because like Relentless Leader is actually what makes him a late game hero, because he cannot be trained at all by stuns. But they put it on his same tier as his Giant Killer, which is like it's you have to have Giant Killer to be able to kill tanks. So I'm kind of curious what their plan was here. Like, it's awesome that they putting a clinic to 7, but then they nerfed the Q damage build. So like, you can do a cooldown build, but now your Qs don't do crazy damage. Like, they just stun a little bit longer. So I'm kind of confused as why they did that. W does not place your auto attack on a cooldown. I don't know why it wasn't like that for forever. They changed your E, made it less cooldown, and your fight or flight has manual activation of Adrenaline Rush, and it no longer removes impairing effects. So they're starting to do this 25% damage reduction. They're starting to do this on a lot of heroes, I've noticed. I'm not sure why. I guess it's to counter the 25% damage amplification heroes like Jaina, Sylvanas, and Tyrande. That's what I would imagine. Either way, I still don't think he's going to be played, honestly, because he's too weak early game. And like, while he does scale pretty well if you go season, he scales pretty well if you get seasoned marksman, but he's just not having Giant Killer anymore. He's not going to be the tank killer that he used to be. So I really don't see Raynor making his resurgence into competitive play. Tyrael, they improved his responses. Thrall's still ass. Like, no one's gonna play him. All right, Abathur. Let's see here. Volatile. We've tuned up some of his weaker talent picks to make them more viable. We really like the level 20 Hive Mind talent, but it can feel clunky to use when allies move out of range. You have to decide whether to cancel and recast it or stay focused on a single target. With these changes, Hive Mind will be much more fluid to play and consistent in its effectiveness. Volatile mutation. Damage increased. Let's see, Locust Strain. That's the level 1 talent, I think. They increased the health. I mean, that's good. No one takes that, though. Symbiote. Regenerative microbes. Healing per second increased. That's the heal on E, I think. Yeah. And then Hive Mind. Now searches for a new Hive Mind target every second rather than only for a second. Symbiote's target stab and spike burst deal half their normal damage and Caribous grabs handed door. Oh, that's actually like a nerf. If the secondary symbiote doesn't do his full damage, I think that's a nerf. Toxic Nest, cooldown, Venom Nest, bonus. So looks like they're making him so he'll be better at doing like a mind build or something. I don't know. I honestly don't know enough about Abathur to have a preference, but like that Hive Mind talent tells me that a lot more people are going to be going like either split push build, or they're going to be doing the teleport on the monstrosity, because that's like half damage on your second symbiote is really huge. Because I think it used to do full damage. I'm not 100% sure. I don't play Abathur, so sorry that I don't have enough. All right, Azmodan, I can help you out here because I play a shit ton of Azmodan. Right now, Azmodan has one competitive build at high levels of play where he stacks global annihilation. Yeah, it's the Q stacking. This build is a ton of fun, so we didn't want to negatively impact this build. Instead, we wanted to give Azmodan some other build options. Right now, it's almost always a mistake to summon one of his demons and waste your mana. With the new tuning and the talent changes, the demons become a legitimate option to use. The demons start with much more damage than the previously, but scale close to what they used to be at higher levels. For players who still plan to go the Q build, it's mostly the same, but we'd offered a few additional talent choices to make options to fit your playstyle. Finally, we were removing some of the support nature of Healing Words and Storm Shield from Azmodan. It makes more sense for him to be a greedy character, not someone who can become a hybrid sword. Sorry about that. Let's see here. Sorry, my downloads are botting this VOD. Alright, so Healing Word removes, Purity removed, First Aid removed, Storm Shield removed, Merc Lord moved from level 7 to 4. So nothing really changes his play there, except sometimes you'd go Storm Shield. So that's the only thing that really changed there. Activate to deal X amount of damage over 6 seconds to target enemy hero. Can be cast channeling All Shall Burn. Minions kill each other. Minions kills each reduces grasp by 100-second cooldown by 5 seconds. That's something new. Let's see here. Like, that might be worth taking just because, like, in the promote is like pretty nerfed. But promotes just the fact that it's global. I don't know if you would take that over promote. We'll have to see. Gluttonous Ward. Activate a ward that restores 25% of his maximum health and mana over 10 seconds. You're never going to take that over the Dunk talent at level 7, so that doesn't matter. Bound Minion. Okay, so Bound Minion was moved to level 7, actually. New talent, level 20. Force Recruitment. Reduces general health cooldown from 30 to 20 seconds. Allows Azmodan to store up to 2 general health charges. That's actually pretty cool. I don't know if you're going to take that, but like if you're playing a map like Blackheart Bay or something, like I could see that being really OP. But it does seem a little underwhelming for level 20 talent, though. Hedonism, level 13. Reduces Global Annihilation's mana cost from 60 to 30. That's going to be useless because you have to have Marches in, so it's like not an option. Summon Demon Warrior W. So they just buffed the early game of the Ws. I'm actually like one of the few Azmodan that actually uses W early game. I use it to scout, and I use it to buy more time when we like swap lanes to make them have more stuff to clear. Like a lot of people, like you can early game, like you don't use enough mana to even waste your Qs. Not until you have Black Hole do you need to really worry about your mana on Qs. So like don't just spam Ws like stupidly, but just like you can use them to push the wave more, or you can use them to scout. They're really helpful early game. I don't think this is really going to change anything. It just helps us early game a little bit. All Shall Burn. Spare nothing. Master Destruction moved to 7 to 1. Now also increases damage against structures by 25%. New talent, level 7 fuse power. All Shall Burn gains an additional charge up level, increases damage. No one's going to take that unless they're not doing the Q build, so I don't think anyone's going to. I still think he's only going to be played with the Q build, so I don't think this changes anything on him. Maybe the level 4 talent will be picked because they don't have Bound Minion is not at level 4 anymore. That's the only thing that I can think of. So they changed up some of the nerfs on Nazeebo. Big thing is they changed his old ult back. Like it's a lot better now, but it's not going. I don't think it's going to matter because his level 16 trait that gave him like 200% extra damage on his passive is not back, and Gathering Power is nerfed. So I still don't think you're ever going to see Ravenous Spirit on him. With all the changes, like let's just go through these really quick. Gidbin, that's the level 7 talent that increases the duration. It does not have the W explosion radius on your frogs anymore, but it makes the zombie wall and the corpse spider duration increase to 33%. This is a buff to the spider build, which is pretty much all anyone does anymore. Increase the range for all of Nazeebo's basic abilities by 25%. This is actually like, I think this is going to be the go-to. Like unless you need Ice Block. Wait, did they remove Ice Block? No, he still has Ice Block. Okay, so like unless you have to have Ice Block, this is going to be the go-to because like being able to like poke and cast walls from such a far range, like in safety, is pretty huge. Like 25% is a lot. So this will be the go-to if you do not need Ice Block for sure. So they buffed his level 1 talent, I guess. I don't know why. It's already one of the best level 1s in the game. Zombie Wall. No one upgrades to your Zombie Wall anyway. So level 7 they put each enemy hit by players just 5. No one's gonna get any of that stuff. You're gonna get Gidbin still. and they buffed Gargantuan. So like his stomp, which is you press R to stomp on him, it's half a second cast time now, which is actually pretty nice. That'll help improve his damage output a little bit. So overall, it's just buffs around the board, but he loses Mule. It's pretty much Nazeebo is going to be pretty much the same exact spot that he's in right now, which is like if you need a tanky sustained damage character, you're still going to pick him. That's pretty much the same spot that he's in, right? He's not really going to change. So Sergeant Hammer, one of my favorite heroes to play. Hammer is one of our lowest win rate characters, so we looked at some easy buffs we could make. We feel like she's a great playstyle and wanted to highlight her fantasy more. The increased health will let you be more aggressive, and the increased damage will reinforce her long range, high damage capabilities. Finally, her siege mode can be used much more frequently and with less emphasis on securing the perfect location. It's okay to siege up, get a couple shots in, and get out of danger. So they buffed her health. It is 20 HP at level 1 and then 10 per level. This is nice. I don't know if they buffed it as much as it used to be, but it's still, any health on her is huge. Like I feel on Hammer, like early game is when you feel the health missing from if you used to play Hammer. That's when you feel it the most. And then they buffed her trait. They gave her 10% extra damage. Like that's huge. Like why are they giving her that much damage? Like come on. Siege mode is buffed. Like this is gonna make graduating range even stronger, siege mode even stronger. So if I had to guess, like Sergeant Hammer is gonna be a top pick in the next meta. Like just from these buffs, like it seems insignificant, but considering how strong she used to be in the meta and how Kael'thas and Jaina are getting nerfed, like this is pretty huge. So I think you will start seeing a lot more Sergeant Hammer in the next patch. Merklord removed from Sylvanas. It's not affected at all. You never take that talent. So Brightwing, we like a lot of what the rework did for Brightwing. Really, you like what the rework did for Brightwing? You like making a hero useless? But overall, her healing output went down more than intended. This change will give her back a big portion of the lost healing and should increase her total healing output tab screen wise by about 15 to 20%. Let's see. So they put healing increase from 7.5 to 30 plus 9. Like honestly, I'd have to play her to tell you if this is enough to like bring her back into the game. It doesn't seem like 15 to 20% healing output. I don't know if that's enough to matter. Like I'd have to try. If I had to guess just looking at these numbers, I'm gonna say she's still kind of shit. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if that's enough. It seems like really small amount to put her back where she like into a spot where she wouldn't be the last choice of a sport. So we'll see. So they buffed the level 4 talent because it was horrendous. They buffed it to 50%. It's still, even at 50%, it's still not very good. Like it's a lot better than 20%, obviously. So like I can see some people taking it now that's 50%, but it's still not very good. Like it's just like heal wise, it's not very good. Like getting 10% mana or getting range just seems like always a better choice than like what this little heal does. Like I did the math earlier, it's really small amount of heal. Like I think it's 90 HP at level 10. If I did the math correctly, it's not that much. Like 90 health, like it's not very that much. So I don't think people will take this anymore. Bloodlust cooldown decrease from 120 to 90 seconds. This is really cool considering that we don't ever see Bloodlust anymore. But with heroes with so much disengage nowadays and the double tank meta where people are like hard to kill, I just don't see how Rhaegar is going to keep people up without ancestral healing. So like maybe a triple range comp could work with this if you end the game before level 20. Like I don't know, but it's definitely a huge buff to Bloodlust. But I still just don't think you're ever gonna see it. There's a lot of disengage in this game right now at the moment. So even at 90 seconds, you can disengage pretty comfortably if you know that it's coming. Like maybe like as a hidden pick or something. If the other team picks a comp that can't handle it, it could work. But I highly doubt we will see Bloodlust that much. Tassadar. They nerfed his D. So they nerfed his sight, which is a good nerf because he is pretty annoying for scouting. When you're playing against him, he's annoying, especially if you get the talent. Plasma shield, mana, blah blah blah. So they buffed his Q for some reason. It's kind of strange. Then W, they buffed his W as well. I don't know why they buffed. So they pretty much nerfed your sight, but they buffed your mana. So that's I'm confused. Like honestly, I think you could have just done this change right here, and then not even touch Q and W because he doesn't have mana problems. Like he has 2 mana talents that are viable at level 1, so he didn't really need this. But it's whatever. Chen. Like, who cares? No one will play Chen still. Like, you need to change. They need to do something about Chen. He's, like, he's horrendous still. Undying trait. Okay, so Leoric. Leoric is probably the best tank in the game right now. Let's see what they did to him. Many of Leoric's healing effects during Undying are now half as effective. Alright, reanimation. Health regeneration during dying decrease from 1 by. So it pretty much cuts your level 1 talent, like it's pretty much his version of Regen Master. It cuts it in half when you're dead. I think this is a good thing. I don't know why. Like he regens way too fast. Like it's like his passive is way too OP. So all of this is a step in the right direction. So this is I believe this is the level 7 talent. This is not even a good talent to begin with. You shouldn't have been taking it. So anyone that's taking it now, if they still take it after this has changed, they just have no clue how to play this hero. So Q, Glassy Swing, Consume Vitality. This is the level 16 talent. You don't take this either, so this does not change anything. Drain Essence, now restore up to 12.5 of Leoric's maximum health during Undying rather than a flat amount, was approximately 10. So that's a buff, I guess. And then Willing Vessel now also increases Drain Essence healing to 15% dying. I don't remember what Willing. Let me check really quick what Willing Vessel was. Sorry, this will just take 1 second. Willing Vessel. Oh, okay. Willing Vessel is the level. Is the 30? It makes your heal 30% at level 4 on your W, and no one ever takes that, so that's not going to change anything. So like the only big changes are the level 1 talent change and then the skeletal swing change. It does not do 100% increased damage to structures, which is a good nerf, because like why is he so good against PvE when he's like so hard to kill? He has too much things in his kit. So like nerfing stuff like this is a step in the right direction. This is great that they did all this, because like the only people that would build Leoric like this anyway and get like where they're affected by all this stuff is like bad players that are trying to just keep on dying and res as fast as possible. So step in the right direction. Good job on this. I still think he's gonna be too good, and he's still gonna be the best tank in the game. So, but it's a step in the right direction. So let's see. Sonya, health increased. That's nice. This is great. Like for anyone that's played Sonya and you get this trade at level 1, you always get demounted. Like this is great. I don't know why I demounted you in the first place. That was one of the most annoying things when I started this game, was that it would demount me. Whirlwind. So Whirlwind. So what they did was they made Whirlwind, besides on heroes, it's nerfed. So like it heals you 5% less on anything that's not a hero, but on a hero it went from double to triple. So it's a huge buff to PvP and a huge nerf to PvE. Well, not a huge nerf, but pretty big nerf to PvE. Sustain. So overall, like it's pretty. Like I think she got buffed a little bit. I don't know if this sustain on this Whirlwind is gonna make her viable. You know, she's in a pretty good spot right now, where she's picked once in a while on certain comps where you need like a good sustained damage. With the cleanse chains, we might be seeing her more with a leap. Like I'm not sure, we'll have to see. But she's gonna be probably used just a little bit more than she is used right now, if I had to guess. Tyrael. Overall, our goal was to make Sanctification a viable heroic for players. It was a viable heroic. Like I think it was chosen more in Korea than Judgment, if I had to guess. We increased its effectiveness and fixed a few bugs to make the ability more consistent. With the changes, Sanctification can become extremely powerful at countering wombos or hard-to-engage teams, making it an enticing choice over Judgment in certain situations. So Q. After throwing Eldrin, a timer bar will now display on screen to indicate how much time remains before Eldrin's Smite expires. That's just to make it easier for you, because it used to just have a bar that would fade out. Level 1. Herodic Reforging. Reduces the cooldown of Eldrin's Might by 3 seconds if it hits an enemy. That's pretty nice, but you're still going to take Regen Master or the E damage. So, Sanctification. No longer requires him to channel the ability. All heroes, including Tyrael, will be invulnerable within Sanctification's area of effect. Now has a half-second cast time. The cooldown is increased to 70 seconds. Area of effect radius reduced by approximately 53%. So what this is doing now is, like, instead of using, it used to be that, like, Sank would be used as either to stop someone getting blown up or to cleanse somebody, but now you can use this to stop damage on everyone, because, like, it makes Tyrael invulnerable as well. I definitely think there will be situations for this, but if you know the radius of Sanctification, like, imagine it cut in half. It's a really small circle, so I'm not too sure when this is going to be used. If I had to guess, it'll probably be used less than the old one was used, if just guessing off the top of my head. So, Judgment. Casting time increased by 0.25 seconds. The target is now briefly revealed upon casting. The new art has been added that will better notify the target of incoming Judgment. The distance that an enemy targeted by Judgment must travel beyond the ability's maximum cast range in order to interrupt it has been increased by 66%. So, it's a little nerf to Judgment, but it's still, I mean, Judgment's Judgment. It's still going to do the same thing. I think Tyrael, with the cleanse changes, like, he's actually buffed, so I suspect to see a lot of Tyrael play in the next patch. So, bug fixes, nothing really big there, blah, blah, blah. They fixed the Dragon Knight when it was doing some weird ass shuffling when it would explode, so that's good. Let's see here. Nothing too big here. So yeah, that's about it. Let me know if you guys like the video. I'll be trying to put out a few more in the next day or two. I'm going to do a Leoric talent video for you guys, and probably just an update vid to tell everyone where I'm at and what I'm looking to do in the future. So, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.